Welcome to the College Soccer Guide podcast, how to play college soccer. I'm your host, Steph Talbot, and let's get into it. So today we're talking about college showcases and how do they work and what you do. And the most common question I receive about college showcases are which ones are the college coaches actually going to? So there is a main list. I'm going to list that off right now. MLS Next events of any kind, playoffs, etc. ECNL events, playoffs, etc. Boys Elite Academy or Girls Elite Academy events, Jeff Cup, Surf Cup, Man City Cup, and various other showcases that are slightly smaller at the NPL level, the E64 level, the DPL level, which is girls soccer, and there will be starting with NAL and Northeast Academy League coming up soon, but that's just beginning. So, in saying that, that's where the coaches are mostly going. And if you look at all the top level Division 1s and all the top level Division 3s and some Division 2s, the majority of them will literally say to you in an email, we are going to, and I can read an email that I have here. This is from Washington and Lee. We will be at the ECNL showcases in April and May and various MLS Next events. Otherwise, the best way to have the best chance of being seen by us is at our own individual ID camp on March 14th. So, when we work with the college recruiting process, you just need to know up front that if you're not playing at high level club soccer, the chance of you getting recruited just diminishes completely, or not completely, largely. Partially because even if they see you at an ID camp and you kill it, they're going to say to you, that was really helpful, great to see you up close, I know you like our school, you came to visit, you're willing to pay us, but we need to see you in a more competitive environment, and that's where the showcase comes in. So if you don't have a combination of both the ID camp and the showcases, you are not going to get recruited to play college soccer. So, and the video, etc. So, how do you pick showcases? Okay, normally your clubs are doing this for you, right? They entered in, whatnot. If you're a parent or if you're a parent, you can use my knowledge I'm hopefully sharing with you, and you can say to your team, hey, we want to go to these camps, and you have the ones there I listed, or showcases rather. And hopefully they will then, do something about that. But clubs are pretty good about getting you to showcases because they know, first of all, the clubs look better when kids go and play college. Two, college coaches want to win those showcases because it helps their resumes. And three, as parents, there's a little bit of pressure that you've put on them, either consciously or subconsciously, saying, hey, we're paying at the club and we want to go to these events. So you guys tend to go to the good events, usually. If you're playing at an ECNL, MLS Next, E64, USL Academy, not so much. UPSL, not so much. But like you're doing it, which is great. But it's important that you continue to put a little bit of pressure on your club teams. And most importantly, when you're reaching out to club teams, when you're switching club teams, you want to ask the question, what showcase are you guys going to? And that's crucial. Now, what should you do before the showcase? So before the showcase, you need to email all the coaches that you're attending, which is pretty obvious. You've heard that before. But here's the thing. Some of the coaches that are on the list are not going to show up. Some of the coaches that are not on the list are going to show up. And the chance that they show up to your game is literally like 10%. Not even. It's probably 5%. They're going to go to the bathroom. You're not going to play very many minutes that game. You're going to be frustrated, etc. So showcases are hit or miss. And the way I put it is in your whole life, you're probably going to go to, if you started freshman year, which would be my recommendation, the recruiting concept, the recruiting process, like just beginning your freshman year or freshman summer going into your sophomore year, you will probably go to a total between then and your junior year. Senior year doesn't really count because you're, at that point you're making decisions and maybe there's one showcase your senior year. You're going to about 8 showcases in your lifetime. Now, during those 8 showcases of your lifetime, you have to assume you're going to play. You have to assume the coaches are going to show up. You have to assume the coach is actually going to come to that tournament at all. You have to assume you're going to not be injured. You have to assume you're not on vacation. So now all of a sudden you're talking about like 3 to 5 showcases that are realistic where hopefully your coach is showing up, you're fit, and you're going to play all those minutes. So you can just see how the percentages decrease, which is why college ID camps exist. So now let's assume you're not even playing at a top showcase. Then it diminishes even further, which is kind of why then you have to think about Division 3 college soccer or Division 2. And remember, less than 7% of kids play college soccer. So when I feel like when I say, Division 3, it's got this negative connotation. That's amazing. It's freaking awesome. My brother played Division 3. He's gone on to play pro soccer. He loves soccer. It changed his life, let alone the social aspect. So playing college soccer is cool. And now he and I go play pickup together. We're the best ones. Why? Because we played college soccer. College soccer makes you part of the very small percentage of the entire world. So it's cool. Now, in saying that, before the showcase, please email them. And this is the email I recommend you send. Dear Coach, I hope this finds you well. Genuine part. If you don't know what that is, please go watch the other podcasts. Then you're going to put the template. If you don't know what that is, please go watch it. Then the ask. So this is the mega aspect. The ask you're going to say is, may I please have permission to shake your hand in person at the tournament? The reason we ask this question is because it's very rare that in your lifetime, as in the college recruiting process, that you're ever going to get one-on-one attention with a coach. At an ID camp, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen traditionally, playing club soccer. So it's either going to be on an official visit, which takes a little while to get. It's going to be after a fall game potential, or potentially at a showcase. So there's just not that many opportunities. And if other coaches see you talking to a coach, it's great. And guess what? That coach is there on their own, right? They're there recruiting kids. They're not working. They're there just watching players. So you getting to meet them is huge. So a lot of my players, we have one, his name's Gabriel. He sent out this message. He's playing NPL, and he had like 5 coaches who want to meet him. He's got great grades. He's got a 4.0 GPA. I think it's 4.2 weighted. But 3 to 5 coaches all want to talk to him. All top division, 3 schools with academics: Bard, Bowdoin, McAllister, Middlesbury. All of them were like, hey, we hope to see you at camp and we'd like to shake your hand in person. Yes, please come and find us. So now, guess what? They left their cell phone number so they could text him. They wanted to set up a meeting at the field. So now there's a bigger repertoire built. Now, does that mean that player's going to get an offer? Not necessarily. In that player's case, they did receive an offer early in their junior year to a school they really liked, but they are now leveraging that to play at higher level Division 3s of other schools that they want. But it all started because we started with them as a sophomore, and they've been going to ID camps and showcases, etc. So that's awesome. We love that. It's just exactly what we want. Then after the showcase, what you're going to do is you're going to say, dear coach, I hope you enjoyed the showcase. Remember, your subject line for all these are also a little bit different. Your subject line should read showcase and then the template. And the template we went over in the email template podcast. But basically, it's your name, GPA. Name goes at the end, sorry. GPA, your grad year, the club level you're playing, which should be whatever is the best should be first. So if your GPA is the best, put that first. If your club level is the best, put that first. Then your grad year can go towards the end, and then your position. Then in the subject line, you would write showcase follow-up and name the showcase. So Surf Cup showcase follow-up. And then you'd say, I'm not sure if you had the opportunity to see my games. And remember, send this to coaches you've never spoken to. Send this to coaches that didn't even show up to the showcase. Send this to coaches that are on your list. Send this to coaches that actually did come to showcase. Send it to what we call like a second mass email, because there's a couple reasons. One, you don't know who did and did not see you. That's number one. You don't know if sometimes there's coaches recruiting on behalf of other coaches wearing different shirts or not wearing shirts at all. So you just never know who's watching. Number two, it's an excuse to brag to other coaches that even maybe didn't come. Hey, I was at the Surf Cup tournament, which is a big deal, or at that showcase, or I'm playing MLS Next or ECNL, or whatever it is. That's a really good thing. Then the final piece of this is you're going to say the showcase, I have attached, so dear coach, hope this finds you well. Thank you so much for watching. I'm not sure if you're able to see my games. We did this, we won or we lost 2 or whatever it was. I thought I had a solid performance. Attached below is an every touch video from each game during the tournament. Or if you don't want to do that because it's kind of a bit of work, pick one game you played really well and just give them that. Showcase video is really helpful because college coaches were planning to recruit from the showcases anyways. So now they can use your video, and that video can last you a year. If you do 3 showcases, you could just use that video, never have to use league video, and get recruited. Because remember, they were never going to recruit you at your league games, but they are going to recruit you at showcases. So now you've got showcase video that you can send to coaches, like not over and over again. You can't send it twice to the same person, but you could send that video, like say you recorded 3 games and you only have 1 of them edited. You can use the other 2 games later, like a year later. You could still use those games because remember, it was at a showcase, which is really helpful. Then the last piece of it is you would say, thank you so much for watching. I hope to talk to you soon. You don't really ask anything in the showcase follow-up. Then you wait a couple weeks. And remember, you have to stay really organized with this, which we discussed in the previous podcast, because you'll remember you would have put a star by them, or you would have written them in their Gmail folder, because then what you'll do is when you haven't heard from them, you'll go back through your list. You'll be like, I never heard back from that school. Let me send them a follow-up and say, hi, coach. I never heard back. I just wanted to politely follow up and see if you had the opportunity. I wanted to confirm you're looking for my position for the class of blah, blah, blah. Then they often reply with, yes, I'm so sorry. I was busy. However, I did take a look at your video, or I haven't looked at it yet, but I'm going to look at it now. It usually takes 2 or 3 follow-ups to do that. So those are showcases. If you want any help in this recruiting process, it's complicated, it's scary, I want to help you, and that's why I've built all of this. So please schedule a call with me, links in the bio, and I'll talk to you soon.